Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. You will see we are all together here. The trio is back, and we've got much to discuss. Here it is. Here.
What a week!
Indeed, what a week! What a week! We've got two. We're going to try and have two Shakespeares.
Oh yes.
Tonight, you know, squeeze it all in. And just to give everyone a little heads up, Lady G. Oh no, I went right the first way. Lady G's been having some slight technical issues with her computer, so let's just see how it goes. It kind of cut out on her, and of course we've got Lena downstairs. So, Lady G, how are things? How's the laptop, and how's life in general? And I think you've got a little news update. You said something about a surgery. Are you happy to talk about that?
Yeah, I just got my surgery time. So, you know, I was hoping the thing in Santa Fe was early August because I have to go into surgery on the 22nd.
Yes, and it starts on the 26th. Yeah, it starts on the 26th.
We'll see. You know, I don't know how big of a wound I'll be having to take care of when I get out. So we'll see how it is.
Yeah, let's hope it's small and it's keyhole and they can just quickly fix it. But it'd be wonderful to for you to pop along if you can. Everyone will be chuffed, especially if we could do a live. You know, we'll do a live, obviously from Santa Fe. So
I was really planning on it, but you know, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. And of course, we have the intrepid Lena down under.
Hi,
loving the blue glasses and these green things that look like shiny. What are they?
I don't know, but I get all my jewelry from my sister. So fortunately, she's an endless jewelry shopper, but she never pays much for a piece. But I like her taste, so that's good. Yeah. So I inherit everything from her.
Well, it all works.
And before we oh, indeed. Yeah, it looks lovely. And before we start the show, you guys will notice I have a slightly Gallic, stripy top because I will be in Paris soon. Thank goodness the whole place hasn't burnt down. And,
oh my God, bonjour, pussycat.
Indeed. And you know what really chuffed me? I wasn't able to see all of the, and I've been trying to find clips of the opening ceremony. Apparently, it's been a little bit controversial. But you know what was remarkable? Celine Dion singing from the Eiffel Tower. Bless her, after her, you know, frozen person. She's still dealing with frozen person syndrome. So she did really great on that. It took me about an hour to track down the clip. Anyway, never mind. Yeah. Shall we begin the show?
Absolutely.
Let's dive into this week.
Let's dive in. All right. So here we go. Here we go. So first question in. Oh, this is a kind of astronomical, this one. So this has come in from Campbell. Terry, you know who you are. So question, will we see, and they've said yes or no. So do you guys know about this? The Coronae Borealis. Do its supernova light explosion, also known as a blaze star. So I know, interesting. Let's do a read on that. I mean, we've read on natural phenomena before, volcanoes, etc. Let's just see what we get. I guess it depends how far north you are, because the Borealis tends to be north, but it could be special on this equation.
What's the actual question?
So basically, are we going to see a blaze star or a supernova light explosion when the Borealis come down? That's the question. You know, something a little bit different. We always keep it mixed here on the show.
Wow, and being at the other end of the entire globe, we don't get the Borealis, but we have the Australis version if you're in certain places at certain times.
Oh, really? And what does that come from? Does that come from a lot of Aussies burning barbecues?
Yes, probably the smoke haze from the endless barbies.
I've never heard of that one before. So you get a little bit of it, a touch of it in Australia. That's good. Oh, That's weird. I'm not sure.
Okay. Will it be an blazing explosion? And out in the Central Australian desert, there's amazing sky, right? Because you don't have the pollution and just extraordinary. And so there are lots of Aboriginal legends about these amazing lights that you get in the desert.
I can imagine. No moisture as well, so it must be crystal clear. Let's see on this.
Oh, we get an explosion.
We'll get an explosion.
Oh.
Oh, gosh, strange cards. Very
I've got
odd
strange cards too. I don't know what to make of them, really.
Yeah, it's very odd. Very odd. Who's ready to go first?
Well,
I can, bearing in mind I have no clue what I'm talking about in terms of this subject, but I'll just tell you what the cards say. Now, the Page of Pentacles brings a message, and as well as money, Pentacles refer to the earth. So there's a message for the earth from the sun.
Oh.
Right. And look at this. Ace of Pentacles with radiating light, you know. So I'm not seeing explosion per se, but light show, yes. Look at that. What did you guys get?
What do you get?
Well, I just pulled a couple cards because what I got first was the messenger, and we've got the clouds in the sky. If it's too cloudy, the thing is that it's going to be an end. People won't see it. And the other side of it we have is justice, though. So I think it just depends on where you're living, what your weather's like there. So you may see it, you may not.
Well, I mean, at least for you guys, your cards seem quite sensible. Mine are just bonkers. I've just got some bonkers cards for this. So, guys, I'm just going to read what I see.
Share the bonkers.
Any sense? So, is there going to be a light explosion? Well, this card would suggest no. Yeah, Ten of Swords. I mean, there'll be something, but maybe. I mean, this could be completely wrong. This is one of the first times where I've looked at my cards and it just looks like a whole pile of whatever. But anyway, I just have to say what I see. So this seems to be implying no. The next card that comes out is the Devil card. What on earth is the Devil doing showing up in an explosion? Will some people try and fake one or something like that? Is there something... Or are there going to be some devil worshipping ceremonies or something? Goodness knows. I do not know why I've got those cards. Here we've got the Four of Wands, so there's going to be some kind of celebration of some kind. I mean, maybe it's going to be some big pagan devil worship thing.
Let's go.
I have no idea. I have no idea. The skies are involved because we've got the Eight of Wands, but it might be blink and you miss it, guys. It might be blink and you miss it because this is really quick. And then for some reason, we've got the Hierophant showing up. So even the Christian church is involved as well.
They'll be out praying, you know.
Right. So it could be. What I will say is this. If there is some big explosion, it could be interpreted as a message from God by the evangelicals. It could go viral all around the world. Most people will celebrate, but the devil worshippers will also be there as well. Very excited because it might be the return of Beelzebub for them. But it could just all be a damp squib at the end of the day. So sorry, guys. I don't know what else to say.
Oh my God. And I just want to say hi to Rosalind in Australia. Hi, Rosalind. Oi, oi, oi. Now we're in Olympic mode.
Yes, it's all there. I'll be checking out, of course. I'll be there next week. So let's make sure everything's okay and there's no more
vandalism. Are you going for the Olympics or you happen to be going to Paris?
No, going for the Olympics. I got talked into it. I had no plan, no interest in it at all, actually, to be honest. I was like, and then, of course, there was the crazy election. But before I knew it, I was booking my tickets and serendipity, and now I'm going. So there we are. Such is life. I'm sure it'd be fun. I hope so. All right. This one is just a quick mention before we do the next question. So this is from Keo. Says, I have no question. I just want to thank you all for this platform and all that you do. I know it must be difficult at times, but you're appreciated in these difficult times. So I just thought that's very nice. Thank you, Keo, for that statement. Right. Manuela Orchid. So she says, hello, dear Hoagie and dear ladies. My question would be, if it will escalate in the next few months between China and Taiwan. So that's the main question. And they've added a little bit. And Hoagie, maybe we could do a video for us, zodiac signs, showing how the astrology looks like for the rest of the year. That would be lovely. So yes, I will consider that. But main question, will it escalate between China and Taiwan?
China and Taiwan. Oh, God. For Taiwan. Okay, let's.
Oh my goodness. Okay, card fell out. I'm getting real jumpers tonight.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I can go if you like, Hoax.
Go for it.
All right. Well, as we all know, if you follow the economics of China, just maybe 18 months ago or 2 years ago, it was running at 13% growth, which is massive, and it's having an economic crisis, right? So this is China out of control here with its economy in free fall. So the solution, as so often is for leaders of these states, better bring out the big stick, moving to another place and proving that we are still the strongest, the best, the brightest, the stuff. So to me, that suggests there could be at least argy-bargy. So if you're new to that expression in the UK and Australia, we use it. It's sort of posturing, you know, it's guys chest to chest when they are not going to hit anybody. So let's hope it's a bit of argy-bargy and, you know, military exercises in the Pacific and that sort of thing. I hope it's nothing. I didn't get catastrophic cards. Yeah.
Lady G, what do you have?
Well, at the center of it, the reading is about secrets, kind of hidden things. Underneath of it all, we have kind of a working together, some people working together to try to get a victory. Because what's crossing it is an ending when it comes to the long-term financial and long-term things moving forward. Things we know are all up in the air when it comes to China. So I think that has to do with, usually it's my card for the White House or for, so I would say the top government and, you know, again, coming to better period of money, financial things, flush. The energy coming into it is what's being birthed, with the outcome is receding, and what's going on now, of course, they're charging forward, posturing about moving and doing something. So it looks like Lena said, a lot of posture and things, but behind the scenes, we've got a lot of difficulties with the economy and things and other people working together for long-term stuff.
Very interesting. And I just want to share some comments from people. Some about we'll be talking about a certain someone's comments, JD Vance. But just to give a little pre-taster of this to come up in the show, Phil Nelson says, "I have no cats, but for goodness sake." Someone here preempting a question coming up later as well with Netanyahu. Will he interfere? Will he try and scupper Kamala? So we're going to look at a little bit on that. Someone saying that they like my hat. Thank you, Pavla. Much appreciated. And here Foggy is saying, I have a beautiful embroidered 1976 Olympic wind jacket with ribbons going around it of all flags of the world in it. So that's lovely. All right, let's move on to the next question. So question number 3, and as usual with the show, the water gets hotter.
Okay, you didn't do your reading on it.
Oh, sorry, my reading on what?
On the question with Taiwan and China.
Oh my God, sorry. Thanks for reminding me. I got distracted. Thank you.
Hello, inquiring minds want to know.
Sorry, yeah, I've laid out the cards, and then I was already off. Sorry, folks, because we got a lot to pack in. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me. All right. So the situation between China and Taiwan. This is the card that fell out. So I think, irrespective of what is going on in the context, ultimately, China doesn't want to reduce Taiwan to a pile of steaming rubble. Yeah, it just wouldn't be good for business. I think ultimately they're kind of looking to maybe kind of unite or bond or make a deal. Maybe it's more about trying to pressure them into economic subservience. Either way, it looks like there is still some kind of partnership here, but it's like they want it to be closer to them rather than Taiwan with the rest of the world. That's the sense I'm getting because this card fell out. But look, in the obstacle position, we have the Lovers. Let me just cover the naughty bits just for the algorithm. We have the Lovers. Now, as you guys know, I also associate this card not only with relationships and partnerships, but economic relations, imports, exports, trades, goods, services. Now, isn't it interesting that the Lovers come out? And then you've got the thingy-bob of partnership here. So I think if there is any kind of like argy-bargy, as Lena would say, it's about this I think is about economic control.
Yes.
I don't think they want to flatten Taiwan, because obviously they're one of the leading chip makers in the world. I think it's more about commandeering them, pulling them into their economic model. Yeah, but it's kind of like a partnership with a gun to the head. Do you know what I mean? You will do this deal with me and you're gonna say yes. Yeah, that kind of thing. If we look here, we've got the Queen of Wands in the middle. Now, wands, of course, deal with passion, but I also associate the royal suit with business, particularly the kings and the queens. So again, this is saying to me, I think this is about business, guys. I really do. I think it's about business. However, something is coming along that could change the perspective or halt China's ambitions, as it were. Could this be if a certain someone doesn't get into the White House? So if Duck L'Orange doesn't get in, you know, Kamala is likely to be far more, it's probably more likely to intervene. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if it's Duck L'Orange, he's just going to be like, do what you want. Do you know what I mean? So there's something gets halted. There's a change of perspective. Ooh. And then look here, Stinky Fish. Yeah, Stinky Fish shows up. So I think they get a bit of bad news. So I think their primary objective is to commandeer the Taiwanese economy for themselves, but there's a hitch. Something holds them up, and it's an unpleasant message. So maybe they don't get the leader that they want in the United States, or something else. Anything to add to that, ladies, before we move on?
Nope.
Brilliant. All right, all good. And thanks for reminding me to read, because I totally forgot.
Yeah.
Right. There we are. I'm still a bit flummoxed by the first cards that I got for that, the astronomy thing. Right. Okay. Now, this is the question, but we're going to do a read on D Vance first, Shakespeare's opinion. But this is the question. This came in from Clearfield. I have a strong feeling Netanyahu will stage something in Gaza to hurt Harris's campaign. A lot of people believe the Iranian hostage crisis back in 1981, which was created to defeat Jimmy Carter, to defeat Jimmy Carter's second term. So that's the question. So we answer the question, then do D Vance, or do D Vance now?
Let's do this because we need it. Then we can concentrate on this week in America.
All right. So, okay. So, yeah. So, will Netanyahu stage something in Gaza to potentially hurt Harris's campaign? Intriguing.
Okay.
And that's Clarefield, 2009. Thank you for your question.
Netanyahu trying to sabotage Kamala.
Very intriguing question. I think she looked very stateswoman when she made her statement post meeting Netanyahu. I just wanted to add that she really did look presidential.
Oh, wow. Shall I jump?
Go for it.
Well, he can try, but she gets epic cards. It starts with the Six of Wands, victory, the Boudica card. Here he is, the King of Pentacles, trying something on in the sense of what he might try is pushing Palestinians even out of Rafah in the south of Gaza. They've got nowhere to go except the ocean here, right? So he could do that, which she gets the strength, and right underneath her card, she's got strength. The world would not be impressed, BB. So I think, in answer to the question, I think he will try something, but it's not going to have the desired effect.
Right. Lady G, what do you have?
It's about endings, okay? So the energy he's bringing into it is trying to figure out what move to do. He wants to be in a position of power, looking of strength, but his challenge is what's being birthed in America. So not good for him, with an outcome of people working together. On one side of it, we have the loss. On the other side of it, we have an unfulfilled, doesn't like the harvest, what would be coming. Underneath of it all, it's about juggling what Kamala knows, what Kamala's holding on to, her strength, her powers, and what's crossing it is the burden of trying to tie her up. Well, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to go and do anything with that. He'd love to, but it looks like he's kind of hogtied with it.
Very interesting. And someone's just added here, Annalie Finch says, for your information, this live event is for entertainment purposes only. Thanks so much for the reading. Yeah, this is interesting with the Netanyahu. Interesting question. All right, first of all, thanks for your reading, Lady G and Lena. I get the moon, yeah, so subterfuge, something sneaky going on, giving it a try, you know, dipping the toe in the water, you know, fishing around, you know, a little, you know, this lobster coming out can often talk about, or at least for me, things, the creatures of the deep subconscious is certainly crossing his mind. Let's put it that way. Yeah. And we know that Netanyahu is definitely a combination of wolf and domesticated animal, you know, who really doesn't often walk through the virtuous pillars of truth. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. If we look here, look at this, we get some verbiage, some speech. So look, this is the false knight, you know, riding in, and it's in the obstacle position. So we might get one or two snide remarks from Netanyahu, who might just do one or two slights and stuff like that. But how much he'll be able to do, obviously, I'm not sure. But I doubt his language is going to be super complimentary. Let's put it that way. If we look here in the middle, look, victory for Kamala. Ooh, now does this mean that she's going to win the whole election? We have to see, because guys, they say A week is a long time in politics. Now it's like 3 days. The November election seems like ages away in terms of what could actually happen, but it's good that she gets this card. Then if we look here, we get the judgment card. So, having to rise up and be counted, etc., that kind of thing. And then the outcome card here, we get the High Priestess. Now, I think this is speaking about Kamala and Netanyahu. If we take both cards together, this is intentions, quite simple. We can see machinations and stuff like that. But this can also show the cunning powers of Kamala as well. And I think it would be unwise for him to underestimate her. Let's just put it that way. So it might be going through his mind. Will it succeed? I'm not sure. I think she's more likely to come out victorious, assuming she becomes the president. So let's see. It's definitely crossed his mind. Anything to add to that, ladies?
No, not for now.
Right. Okay. So let's do our first Shakespeare of the evening. And we have to talk about D Vance. You know, I've got to come up with a nickname for him.
I know it isn't.
You know, because it's just like it's almost too hard to put him into words. So here you are, you're the vice president who is clearly not liked by Duck L'Orange for good reason.
Yes, it's ironic, isn't it?
Which is ironic, you know, which is ironic. Some people say it was Trump's pick. I'm not buying it. I'm really not. I don't think it was Trump's pick. He doesn't normally pick people that are kind of attention grabbing and all of this kind of stuff. It's not his style.
It was a pick by the machine.
Yeah, I think by the machine. And as you can imagine, the GOP are presumably trying to win votes. And D Vance somehow has managed to offend everyone with his most recent statements.
Everyone.
By saying that America is run by childless cat ladies. And then to add even more to that, he says, basically, you should only vote pretty much if you're a parent. So if you're childless, just forget about it. And I was just sitting there and I was thinking, who has that kind of colossal ability to be able to offend almost absolutely everyone? So shall we see what Shakespeare thinks of D Vance's comment?
Totally.
Hmm?
I think it's Lena's turn this.
Oh, okay.
All right, let me get to the right. Oh, it just beggars belief. This would be career ending in any other place in the world. Yeah. All right, tell me when to stop, Lena.
Okay, and stop.
This is weird. Okay. Oh, one second. This is really interesting. Okay, listen to this. And this is from All Is Well That Ends Well. I had landed on some blank pages there, so I had to turn to a page that had writing on it. Thou art a most notable coward, an infinite and endless liar, an hourly promise breaker, the owner of not one good quality.
Ouch.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
I mean, what else can you say? I mean,
no need for anything.
I just don't think there's anything else.
No. And how to put everyone offside. So remember the pussy hats, okay? So now there has to be a resurrection of the pussy hats in response to this nonsense about cats. So you've got young women who are offended, cat owners who are offended, people without cats who are just as outraged. It is just diabolically stupid.
It's astonishing. I've just never heard. It's one of the dumbest things I have ever heard a so-called politician say. who is trying to win an election. And this is someone that wrote a multi-million selling book, by the way, who was...
Well, only because he ran down his own people, and that's always a good seller.
Yeah, but
you know, it's the American success story writ large. So, you know, my people are just lazy and out of control and, you know, drug addicts. But look, I'm fabulous. So I don't want to hear about the book ever.
Yeah, it's just astonishing. It really is up there as one of the dumbest political statements ever made. Managed to offend everyone and take no one on his side. And just read it one last time. All's well that ends well. Thou art a most notable coward. Yes, he is, because he was against Trump, called him, what is it, America's Hitler and all this, that, and the other. And now he's turned coat. So that obviously shows he's a coward. An infinite and endless liar, an hourly promise breaker, the owner of not one good quality. Yep, that's him.
I love the last bit, the hourly promise breaker. Yeah. I've met a few of those in my time, but he's up there.
It's just astonishing. I just beggars belief, doesn't it?
And this stuff won't go away, right? Between now and November, this will not go away.
No.
And anecdotal stories are wonderful of people saying, I haven't voted for 20 years, but I'm going to vote for Kamala. You know, youth vote registration is the highest since Obama.
Wonderful.
I mean, she's the opposite. She's just a magnet now, this huge energy around her.
Yeah, absolutely. And then JD.
And I'm a convert. I was always lukewarm about Kamala. I'm a complete convert now. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know anything about her, but the minute that Biden dropped out, the energy shifted. You could feel her energy, and then it was, you know, a big change for sure.
It's a perfect arrangement now because Joe is still there, you know, till next year too. It's not as though he was out. All that behind the scenes nastiness has dropped away. And so I think he'll actually be under less pressure and he'll perform better too. So I think it's a win-win in that sense. But can I say one more thing?
Yeah,
I didn't realize till this week. She's 59, right?
Yeah, she brings a lot brighter energy for sure.
Yeah, and so she's come through her second Saturn return. And I think Kamala, when she was in her 30s, 40s, even early 50s, was career building, very focused, not a lot of fun going on. And now she's secure in herself.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. Very important time.
So JD, I just call him lackluster, lackmuster, the great disappointment.
Yeah. Unless he has a miracle turn, but it's... You know what? I would say that political comment that he made, I will call it a skunk comment.
Yeah.
What he did was he did a handstand, turned his butt, literally turned his butt to the electorate and just sprayed them with something that is going to be very sticky, very stinky, and hard to wash off. It's one of the worst political statements I've ever heard. And the memes, apparently he's getting absolutely torched. So if he keeps making silly comments like that, it makes Kamala's life a lot easier, doesn't it? But still long way.
And how does he backpedal from that, right? He can't really. It is out there, you know.
Yeah.
And he's unveiled what Project 25 is about.
Yeah. It's all misogyny. Went down like a cold cup of sick, as we say in the UK. Terrible. Are we ready for the next question?
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. And there is 1,700 of you in the room right now with us. Thank you so much for joining us live, everyone. Please don't forget as well, if you'd like to support the channel, to like and subscribe. And if you'd like to subscribe to the ladies' channels as well, they will be in the video description below. I might just have to add it afterwards. I'm super busy today. Right. Good. This is a good question here, coming from Tribal Woman. She says, hi, Hogarth, Lady G, and Lena, my favorite people, she says. Thank you so much. Will black men vote for Vice President Kamala? Very good question.
Good question.
I've heard that black men are either going to vote for Trump or not vote at all when Biden was running. Has that changed? Thanks. Great question.
Great question.
Great question.
Let's have
very good question.
Will black men turn up and vote for Kamala?
Will black men turn up and vote for Kamala?
Let's see.
I saw some news snippets where they were talking to some Latina women, and one woman said, look, just because I'm Latina doesn't mean I'm automatically voting for, you know, Kamala. So we can't make any assumptions, can we? Black men. Well, black men.
Yeah, the Latino vote's always split.
Yeah, because they are quite conservative in general. You know, the Catholicism and all that stuff in general. All black men vote for Kamala. Oh, who's ready to go?
I can go if you like.
Go for it.
I think if the vote was next week, meh sort of reaction, you know.
Yeah.
Next comes the devil card. It's not going to make much difference for me. And, you know, the first two cards. Then here comes the temperance card. And I think that's the women in their families and in their lives coming to bring a bit of pressure there, saying, do it for us. You know, if you're not going to do it for yourself, because there's nothing in it for you, we have a lot to lose. Do it for us was the phrase I just heard. And then I think the turnout will actually, as the time gets nearer, gain momentum.
Wow. Was that the Chariot there, Lena, or victory card? On Chariot, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it now, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice card, isn't it? What did you get, Lady G?
Well, underneath all of it, it's a wheel of karma is turning. And in the center of it, we have, guess who pops up? Trump. He's going out lackluster, and they see him, you know, just trying to get away with things, with the theft and all of that going on. And then underneath of it, we have the choices, the Democrats or the Republican. What are you going to do with this? So what's crossing it, they're looking for what's coming up new, for opportunities, and juggling all of that. Coming into it, the energy is, what does Kamala have? What is she holding on? What does she know? At the moment, I agree, they're kind of, you know, at this point, hung up, not going anywhere, but maybe they will need the time to see it from a different perspective. The challenge is the history, looking at it with the outcome of a strong ideology. So I think it's just going to take time. They know, they see that Trump is going out. They've got a choice to make, democracy or not. They're going to look at the opportunities coming up, and then they will make their decision to go forward.
Wow. Really, yeah.
Great.
Really good. Yeah, really good read. And what I was also taking from both your cards, ladies, like with Lena with that devil card, I think one of the things that might be tricky for Kamala is because when she was like putting people behind bars, ironically, they were saying that the Democrats are weak on crime, but there are many critiques as well to say that Kamala was too tough and too many people went behind bars. So I think maybe there's quite a few black men that might remember that and might be like, I'm not sure. And then with Lady G's card, it was very interesting about those pentacles, economic opportunity as well. Men being able to, black men being able to rebalance their lives as well is also showing the candidate that is going to provide the more prosperity is likely to kind of get the votes as well. So I just wanted to add that little bit. My cards, as usual, are complex. Yeah. Very complex. Anyway, here we go. I'll give it my best shot. So if we see here, look, we've got the Page of Swords. So of course, pages are always about messages, but the Page of Swords can be quite a sharp message. So this isn't necessarily a friendly stance. Yeah. So it's almost like as a group that black men are like, yeah, don't come mess with us. Don't come mess with us. What are you got? Are you friend or foe? That's how I'm interpreting that card. So you see, it's slightly defensive. Yeah, they're not sure,
and it's understandable.
Yeah, it's not automatic. Yeah, it's not automatic. It's not like the Empress where it's like, come to my bosom. No, this is the Page of Swords. You know, apprehensive, sharp. They're going to be very inquiring. They're going to be quite incisive when they make their choices. Now, if we look here, in the obstacle position, we have the Fool card. Now, sometimes, obviously, the basic interpretation of this can literally be the Fool, but I don't think it's that. The question is, because there's the defensiveness there, maybe there's quite a lot of black men that are not prepared to take the leap of faith yet. She's going to have to prove herself a little bit. It ain't going to be smooth sailing, yeah, because this is the leap of faith, but it's turning up in the obstacle position. So maybe they can be turned around when we look at Lena's cards and when we look at Lady G's cards. In the middle, we have here, again, this is talking about prosperity, wish fulfillment. They want Kamala to really speak to them and their issues. What are you going to do for us so that we feel better as a group, economically secure, etc.? Yeah, this is one of the most important things. However, how realistic are those expectations? Yeah, how realistic are those expectations? But also as well, they're looking at the different opportunities, different choices. But is a vote for the Republicans, is that a false choice? Is it a discombobulated choice? We have to see. There's a lot in the air. I think there's a lot that black men are putting into the pots for consideration. And it's not simplistic. It's not a simplistic answer. It's not just because, well, Kamala's black, so she gets the black vote or she gets black men's votes. No, it's more complicated than that, guys. We need to look at the nuances. Yeah. But the outcome card is the Sun, which is normally a universally positive card. So enlightenment, success, the sun coming out and stuff like that. So I would say if she can convince, yeah, if she can shine the light to clear the confusion and speak to what black men voters actually want and their wishes, their dreams and desires, then maybe they will be prepared to take the leap of faith with her and fight for her at the ballot box.
Yeah, really interesting. And I think the black vote has been taken for granted by the Dems, you know, for generations, right? And so she's done a lot of work very quickly with black women, but she still has to reach out. And Sherry says in the comments, because I'd always been sus about Kamala. I've made 3 or 4 videos basically saying, why don't I warm to her? Why don't Sherry says there was a story going around that she put 1,400 black men behind bars. It's apparently not a true story. It was made up from a woman in Russia and has been investigated in the US and is actually not true.
Wow.
But perception is everything. And she strikes me as one of those, if I could just share what I think I know about Kamala in the last week, because we only get these from different sources. She was one of those women who was sort of, well, if you don't commit a crime, you don't have to worry about racism, you know, like just, there was almost a naivety and a focus that some people have, that if you play the game and just work hard, you'll be all right. No, No, you try getting a taxi, at midnight, and let's just have a look.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So there is this history, but I heard, and I think this is really important, that was her position up until Black Lives Matter. She was a law and order girl, no questions asked. But the whole George Floyd thing and watching that video, apparently, she wasn't the only one impacted, of course, but it was huge in her world to shift that position of being always on the side of the state and police and doing the right thing. That shifted her. So we'll see if that's true or not.
We'll see. Turned a few cogs in her head, as it did.
Yes.
So much of the world. Are we ready for the next question?
Absolutely.
All right. So here we are. Question number 5. And we're going to have to get Shakespeare's opinion on this one. So the second Shakespeare, folks, brace yourselves. All right. So this is coming from Spirit Woman. And she says, please read on Trump meeting with Orban and now Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago. Oh, my God. I mean, you know what? He should probably write a book on tea service and hosting. I mean, it's just... anyway, I just think this is crazy. He gets this much license. Anyway, so they go on to say, why does he get to meet with foreign leaders and no one seems to think that's a problem? He's meddling in foreign policy. No other ex-president that I can think of has ever done that. And then I've put here in brackets, maybe Trump doesn't have to win, but it has to be close. Yeah, because he's being helped. So let's read on the energy. Yeah, what's going on with Trump meeting Orban and now Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago? What's going on with that energy?
Well, if he's the GOP candidate, doesn't that mean legally he can meet them? I think the problem is more before, but anyway, we'll see. I don't know.
He does seem to get... I've not heard of former prime ministers in the UK being able to meet international dignitaries. Yes, you can do it on the speaking tour, but being able to invite them over to your own house,
Come to my
I'm not sure about that.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is a bit weird. Seems to get a lot of license, Dr. Larange.
That's it. Come on down. We're going to have lots of McDonald's and Cokes.
Yeah.
Burgers and Cokes.
Lots of... it's very
Okay,
subtle.
thanks for that. Someone said, no, he can't. He's a private citizen. Okay.
Yeah.
Except apparently he can. But what's wrong? Oh, God, I don't know.
Well, I'm ready to go. If you guys
Go.
Lady G.
It's all about he's bending their brains for how to go forward, because at the very center of it, it's about his toxic elements and what can he do. Because on one side of it, we have the harvest. He's not liking what's coming. And the other side of it, he wants to be able to abuse the power. So underneath of it all, he says, oh, they've got swords in my back. It's horrible, and everything is being blocked. So the challenge with it is, trying to make alliances because of what's being birthed here. Yeah. The rules, the laws, the regulations, and this burden he's carrying, nobody knows the trouble I've seen. So coming into it, it's about the message. He wants them to witness to him. Look, what can I do, guys? Because he's in what? Delusionville. The challenge is about facing the losses. The outcome is trying to work on this. So it's all, hey, come on, guys, help me out here. What can I do to get through this?
Wow.
I'm like, really?
Gosh, very good read. Very good read. Lena, what do you have?
Well, my first card was defending from the hill. Yes, and I was thinking, who is this Trump, shoring up connections before he goes? I think it's actually even the CIA or the Pentagon. They don't know what to do with him. They're conflicted, which is no excuse. Right. I don't know what to do with him. He just charges forth because he knows he really wants the strong men in his pocket and on his side, and that it's disruptive to the Dems. That's why the GOP Congress invited Netanyahu. So he just charges forward because that's his only, he doesn't have a reverse gear, right? This thing going, and he's looking at serious losses. And this is the shadow side of the Three of Pentacles, working out money and possible exit strategies should things not go well. And the outcome card, which in this case is, for me, Russia, at the moment, not always, but often for you, Hogarth.
Yeah.
So he was aiming for Putin and only got Orban. And, it was like, this is the one he wants.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. These are extraordinary times, aren't they? The fact that we are even having these conversations, do you know what I mean? It's just astonishing. We will never see the like again. All right, my cards here, quite contradictory. Yeah, quite contradictory, but I think it makes sense. So, what is Netanyahu and Orban doing at Mar-a-Lago? Yeah, what's it all about? Look, it's the Hermit. Deep in research. He's gathering tips, guys. He's gathering tips on how to stay in power. Well, we say stay in power. He's been removed, but he's gathering tips on if he's able to get power, how to stay in. Yeah. How to he's basically getting like, it's almost like Looney Tunes, the Acme 101 of how to be a dictator. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like they're the Wile E. Coyotes and, and he's trying to catch Roadrunner or something like that. So, yeah, so deep research, reflection, going within. His Mar-a-Lago is now a hub of networking to try and figure out how he can be a strong man. Basically, that's what it's about. If we look here, though, we've got the Sun card that comes back again, but this time it is in the obstacle position. It's still a positive card, but when it's kind of like reversed, we can imagine it reversed, it can mean that the outcome is a bit mediocre. It doesn't quite do the full ticket. So let's say what I'm being shown is damp fireworks. One or two may go off, but it doesn't quite spell the victory sign in the sky. Do you know what I mean? One or two letters are missing. So he's working hard on it. I mean, and I mean, what does that say? These guys are helping him. Yeah, they really are giving him tips and advice, and it's really shameful.
But why is he allowed to?
I know. It's like
that's what Camp David used to be about, I mean, not even Biden or Reagan or anyone said, come to my place, we'll have a barbecue or eat Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's ridiculous and surely illegal.
Yeah, we are in bizarre times that he is even being allowed to do this. He's entertaining international leaders, some of whom are clearly not friendly to the United States, in his personal residence, where he'd also kept a whole bunch of classified documents stacked up to the ceiling in the bathroom. I mean, it beggars belief. It beggars belief. Anyways, so here.
You got that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 of Wands. I think this is him getting tips from them, how he can cause confusion should things not go his way, because he's got the contingency plans, folks. Yeah, because he's also doing a bit of reflection on D Vance. Yeah, he's thinking, oh God, I've been given a real dud here. What am I gonna do? Literally, he's been given a dud. D Vance was sold as the sunshine boy, but it's more like that. Damn squid. He's now trying to figure out his war plan in case he shouldn't lose. again, he's going for religion. Yeah, he's going for religion. I think the next question is, you know, what he said at that rally. So it's almost, this card is preempting, but here's the religious right, you know, prepared to get their savior and master over the line. Gosh. And then look, whenever we read on the GOP, how often does this card come out? It's all about nostalgia. It's all about the past. They are living in the past. Trump, Duck L'Orange, wants to turn the clock back to kind of pre-Soviet kind of like times, and he's learning from Orban, and he's learning from Netanyahu and any other person, nefarious character that he can find. So yeah, it's a conference. It's a conference of how to be a dictator. Anything to add to that, ladies, before we do the last question?
No.
No.
Shall we see Shakespeare's opinion on this meetings?
Sure.
Yeah. All right, so Lady G. All right, let's get the Bard's opinion on these meetings with Netanyahu and Orban. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Oh, all right, it's there. Oh, okay. Again, it's come to intellect and speech, so I'm just going to turn to the next page and see what it says. Oh, interesting. Oh, listen to this. Listen to this. I'm going to read them both. Yeah, this is Shakespeare's opinion on these meetings at Mar-a-Lago. Hide not thy poison with such sugared words.
Oh.
Henry IV. Henry VI, Part 2. And then this one's in from Macbeth, and this is even more interesting. If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive till famine cling thee. So do you see, it's all about the falsehoods, the poison. Yeah, he's learning. They're giving him, they're whispering these things. It's very slippery, guys. Very slippery. Very, very slippery. All right, let's get in the last question. Where's question number 6? Okay, I'm going to read these both out, but it basically amounts to the same thing. So Nick Mink says the golden calf has stated out loud that Christians need only to vote for him this time and never again. A Project 25 high ranker even said that they have plans already in place to secure the election. So they're being brazen now. Do the cards show that their plans are already known and being neutralized without them realizing? So there's that. And then the other one from Barbara Almedia. Hogarth and ladies, did you see where Trump admitted at his rally last night in Florida in front of Christians that just vote for him this one time and he will fix it, that they will never have to vote again? And right after that, he confessed to not being a Christian, and those people clapped. So it's the same thing. So let's read on the energy of that brazen statement and what it could mean.
Yeah,
I've not seen it yet. I'll watch after the show if I can track it down.
Vote for me and you never have to vote again because I'm a dictator. I mean, what is wrong with these people that they don't hear that? They see that as a good thing. I'm going to take your democracy.
What? How is that not immediately self-disqualifying?
Yeah.
I mean, how is that not?
How is it not a treasonous statement? You know,
it's just beggars belief. I think what Dr. L'Orange has done, he's been so controversial for so long. It's like everyone is numb.
Exactly. Like, so there's been virtually 8 years of numbness, exhaustion, shock, horror. The difference is now with Kamala's energy, suddenly people think, oh, we can vote this out. There's a momentum to get rid of all this stuff, you know, that just seems so stuck before, you know. Anyway, sorry. Do you want me to read?
Sure. Go for it, Lena.
I love these first two cards in the Russian deck. This is, I think it's Maga's turn. He's run out of ideas, right? He's just going to spit forth, you know, froth and nonsense. It's Maga's turn to be exhausted. Isn't it interesting? There's still a chess game at play here. And we were just lamenting and saying, why don't they do something about him? This is somebody being frisked down. I think this is post-election. He will be frisked down if he doesn't leave in the meantime. Right? So he's in trouble. He's in very choppy waters and he knows it. That's me.
Okay. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, the center of the read is about making this retreat go away, because underneath of it, we have them trying to get away with the steel, but the light is being put on that 2025. It's getting out there. What's crossing it is not liking what's coming and feeling kind of hogtied with it. Underneath of it all is our rules, our laws, our regulations in America. So coming into it, the energy is about these wealthy ones that are trying to push this agenda. What they're talking about now is the illusion and delusion and drama. The challenge is, you know, what they've got the lid on. But the outcome is going to be the message, the messenger, and talking about the reality of what it is when it comes to long term and how this would impede people. So they're looking at it. It's coming out now, and yeah, people are not going to like it, and they're going to do everything they can to make this recede.
Yes. And I just, before I read, I want to say thank you to all new Maggie Who for your kind donation. And thank you to Christopher as well for your kind donation.
Cheers.
Thanks so much, guys. All right, I'll squeeze in my reading here. Again, quite interesting cards here. So the whole thing, of course, what does this mean? He's basically confessed that you only have to vote for me once. I mean, who's ever heard of this in politics, where as a salesman, your pitch is like, hey, folks, vote for me once and you'll never have to vote again. And everyone's like, oh, yes. Oh, whoopee, whoopee, whoopee. Isn't that a good idea? It's beyond bizarre. This, for me, it's Twilight Zone meets David Lynch, meets Twin Peaks, meets Rosemary's Baby, meets Nightmare Before Christmas. It's beyond Kafkaesque. You can't even parody it. It's just so beyond. And now he's given up on lying. This is what I find remarkable. He's like,
yeah, I love it.
Take away your votes, people.
Just say it.
Come along, line up, everybody. I'm going to take away your votes. And I don't. Come on, Christian.
I'll vote for that.
I'll vote for that. And then he says, oh, I'm not Christian. I'm not Christian either, by the way. And they're like, oh, yes, isn't he wonderful? Oh, it's just beyond.
I know. I love when he said, just give me your vote. I don't care about any of you. I just want your vote.
Yeah, that was the telltale one.
Like,
exactly. I mean, in any other world,
oh, Lord,
it would be career-ending stuff, but we live in weird times. This is Alice in Wonderland on opiates. Anyway, here he is standing up there, not even trying to pretend to have the veneer anymore. He's like, I'm going to abuse you. Yeah? I'm going to abuse my power, and you're going to applaud while I do it. Yeah? There he is, standing up there at the lectern. He's like, what's the point? He's like, guess what? I'm also going to scheme with others. 3 of Pentacles. I'm going to invite every tin pot dictator I can down to Mar-a-Lago, and we're going to cook up ways to disenfranchise you, and you're still going to applaud. Yeah. Here he is in the middle, wanting to sit there as the king. And this is not just it's not just him. These are all the wealthy millionaires, billionaires that are supporting this BS as well. Let's not forget them. This big business, Project 25, this lot over there. He's decided that his best form of defense is attack. He's like, you know what? I'm not even going to bother with finesse anymore. Not that he was the most finesse person. He's like, I'm just going to stand up there on the lectern and I'm going to tell them I'm going to bring war and I'm going to steal everyone's votes and they're going to lap it up. And they are. But then ultimately, something happens where it's like he's not quite liking the options on the table. We have to see how it turns. Duc L'Orange will go into his Jupiter-Venus dasher. I think it's 29th of September 2024. His Venus is in the 12th house, which can mean prisons, hospitals, endings, exile as well. It also deals with women. Will women put him behind bars? Will women give him those losses, or will he get a get out of jail free card? We have to see. But something comes where he's not liking the options on the table, so he doesn't get it completely his own way. But what do you want to add to that, ladies, before we end?
No, that's it. I have to go. Oh, there's one. Sandy says in the comments, I like this. Will a Florida retirement community, and they're normally really conservative, held an event for Kamala today?
Wow. That's big.
That's positive.
Symbolically, that's big.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's big.
Interesting times, folks. Well, the time has gone in an absolute flash. There was 1,937 of you in the room. Thank you so much for joining us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and to support the channel. And the ladies' channels will also be in the description, which I'll add after the show. We are in remarkable times. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us. Happy Sunday as well for anyone watching us on Sunday. We will be back next week with breathless commentary in whatever else happens in this crazy world. But Duc L'Orange has given up on lying, folks. Now he's just gone for the truth.
And meow that vote.
Meow that vote indeed. All right, folks. We will leave it there for now. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Ciao, guys.